Hello friends, Jyoti Shamnani here from Royal LePage. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Ready. Here I share practical advice and walk you through your home buying and selling journey. Picture this. You've made an offer on your dream home just outside the city. Perfect for those summer picnics. Your offer was accepted, but wait, a title search dug up an easement. And now you have to share the home you've just purchased with someone else. It sounds crazy, but it happens, which is why on today's episode, I want to talk about easements. Let's start with the basics. What is an easement? An easement is the right to use land that belongs to someone else for a special purpose. Easements are registered for and against land, not people, which means that you don't have an easement, your property does. The exception to this is an easement in gross, which is registered with companies like Bell and Rogers. Essentially, easements give you the right to use someone's property without having ownership rights. For example, an easement holder who has access to a passageway may not deviate from the designated path or prevent the owner from accessing it. An easement holder who uses the land for more than the specified purpose could find himself in violation of local trespassing laws. Now let's take a look at the different types of easements. There are different reasons you may require an easement, but some of the most common ones you might encounter are: first, express easement. An express easement grants you the right to walk or drive over someone's land to gain access to your property. Number two, implied easements. Implied easements arise when the original owner divides his land and sells it off in portions to different people, but forgets to pass along the easements. For example, an owner might divide a large field into 3 lots to sell off individually, but forget to give the new owners the right to use an underground sewer that runs through all 3 lots. Number 3, prescriptive easements. Prescriptive easements are unusual because it's a type of trespassing that goes on blatantly, continuously, and for so long that the trespasser ends up getting a legal easement over the property. Number 4, appurtenant easement. An easement in appurtenant is a bit different because it does not exist between two people. The easement automatically transfers to the new owner as soon as the land is sold. Number 5, easement in gross. An easement in gross only applies to the individual granted access to your property. In this case, when that person sells the property, the future owner is not included in the easement. Examples of easement in gross are when utility companies have the right to run overhead or underground power cables, telephone lines, water and sewage pipes across your land to reach another property. HOAs or condos is the 6th easement, allows tenants the right to use and access the common sidewalks, stairs, gardens of a communal living space. For example, the condo association owns most of the building. If you're selling a property tied to an easement, you do not need the landowner's approval. However, if you plan to make any upgrades before selling, you will need to consider the guidelines of the existing easement, including building additions such as a fence that would block the easement. You also want to make sure that you have the documentation on the new buyer's easement to be fully aware of the responsibility that comes with purchasing your property. If you are an owner of the property and have misplaced your title search, you can contact the Land Titles Office and ask for a title search. Remember, easements run with the land, which means all rights and obligations are automatically transferred to the new owner when you sell. A bit complicated, right? I know. Many property owners own a home without ever hearing the term easement. Most people don't worry about the underground sewage pipe that serves their property or notice how their wall gives the neighbor's townhouse support. Yet, most properties have easements in some form or another. This is why it is important to hire a realtor that will guide you through all of the complexities. And as a real estate consultant, my goal is to alleviate my clients' burdens by helping them navigate complicated transactions like easements with ease. Do you have any questions about easements? Or are you interested in purchasing a property attached to an easement and want to know how it will affect you? You can send me a message and I'll be happy to answer your questions and guide you through the easement process. I hope this episode was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you don't miss next week's episode. See you then.